Hey, it's Taylor. I'm a functional nutritionist and I am here to help you get happy about food again. Welcome to my kitchen. As I've been experimenting in the kitchen, I have learned that you can spring roll just about anything. So today, we are going to be making 5 different spring roll recipes. You guys ready to have some fun? Follow me. Our first spring roll is going to be a traditional spring roll. It's carrots, cucumber, avocado. We have some basil there. You can use mint if you have that. And we have our protein, which is tofu. Use extra firm tofu and press it first to remove any excess water. A cookbook works perfectly for this. Next, peel your carrots and cucumber and slice your avocado and pick your basil leaves. Cut your cucumber into chunks and remove the seeds. You can either slice your cucumber into matchsticks, or you can use a vegetable cutter like this, which is quickly becoming my favorite kitchen tool. I'll link to the one that I use down below. I love it because you get perfectly uniform slices every time. Carrots are a bit tougher for the chopper, so I usually cut these into matchsticks by hand. Transfer all of your ingredients to a clean plate and finally cut your tofu in half and then cut it again into quarter slices. So I love these spring roll wraps from Ocean Halo. That is the kind that I'm using, but any spring roll wrap will do. They come in all different sizes, but I would recommend a medium to a larger size wrap so that we can shove as many goodies in there as possible. The important thing to note here is when you're dunking into your bowl of water, which should be filled 3/4 of the way, make sure that you're keeping that gradient, because if you soak the spring roll wrap too much, you're going to lose it and it's going to become really hard to work with. You only really need to spin it around in the bowl twice. So you can see there's still some remnants there of the pattern. That is a spring roll wrap that is ready to go. We are going to start with some carrots. Our ingredients were all prepared before and put on a plate because it just makes the process so much easier to roll. I really love a traditional spring roll because it's just light, it's simple. You can have it as an appetizer or you can have it as a meal. We're gonna fold over and then tuck. Then we're gonna get our sides and we're gonna pinch them in like that. And then we're just gonna keep it nice and tight. You just roll, roll, roll. That's a beautiful first spring roll wrap. There's no greater way to connect with your food than to use your hands, make it from scratch. It's almost like an art project, right? That's how I like to look at cooking, is it's a form of art and it's a form of nourishment. So it's all about your mindset and what you make of it. Now let's make our dipping sauce. If I were you, I would buy chunky peanut butter, which just so happens to be my favorite peanut butter, because you'll get chunks of peanut, which will really make it resemble the traditional Thai peanut dipping sauce. So I'm gonna take about a tablespoon. Now I have this organic tamari, which is gluten-free soy sauce, but if you're not gluten-free, feel free to use regular soy sauce. Let's say that was 2 tablespoons. And then I do have fresh ginger, but I can't find my grater anywhere. So I'm gonna use dried ginger. So if that's all you have on hand, that's totally fine. A little tap on the behind. Whisk everything together. That is so good. All right, now we have to try it, right? I'm gonna be eating a lot of spring rolls today. That's yummy. Next up, we're gonna be doing our own play on a cheesesteak egg roll, except so much better for you. So I'm doing grass-fed beef and some sharp Vermont cheddar cheese, just because that's what my husband loves, but you could use any cheese that you like. These are for you, so customize them and include the ingredients that you love. Grass-fed beef is probably the best bang for your buck as far as nutrient-dense protein goes. We're gonna fold it over and pinch, and then you're gonna flip one side in, other side in, and then we're gonna roll. Surprised my dog isn't over here. You can also under soak the rice paper, which is kind of what's happening to me here. Oh, see, look, didn't work. Uh-oh, into the trash you go. Now, I got this meat from Costco. It was pre-cooked, pre-sliced, But if you have leftover meat in the fridge, you could use leftover ground beef, you could use leftover ground turkey. Also, if you want, you could pan fry these, throw them in a skillet with some oil and let the cheese inside melt, and it would really be like a cheesesteak egg roll type situation. For the sauce for these, I'm gonna use barbecue sauce. Oh boy, here's my dog. I have a friend. Sit. Good girl. You can have spring rolls for dessert. And I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna be using our sauteed apples. I use Gala apples, but you can use Macintosh or any baking apple that you like. I peel them first, cut into quarters around the core, and then bring out my handy dandy vegetable cutter, which works great for apples too. It comes with a bunch of different inserts, so I'm using the dice one here. It's as easy as place, press, and dice. Transfer your apples into a pan that's been heating on medium heat with 2 tablespoons of salted butter. Let those soften up and then add a squeeze of lemon juice and our spices, cinnamon. You can also add a little bit of nutmeg if you want, and maple syrup. Cover and let them cook until soft but not mushy. And then you're gonna transfer those to a plate and you're ready to roll. Literally. Just gonna make sure it tastes okay. Really good. It kind of reminds me of like an apple pie filling. I'm going to be taking 2 generous handfuls of apples. My dog, I mean, you can see her ears. I spoke too soon. These are perfect to just kind of like blow your friends away at a dinner party. They're going to love these. They're going to be obsessed with these. They're guilt-free. They're so low in calories. They're high in fiber. And it still has the same nostalgic apple pie feel. Still, I don't think you're going to like these as much as the meat. Again, you can pan fry these, warm them up when you get to your friend or family's house in the oven or in a skillet. Stella, your ears are in my shot. Give them a nice little sear and it'll just help to warm it up and really give that apple pie sensation. Our second dessert is going to be same thing, but we're using poached pears. Poached pears are surprisingly easy. You want to bring about a cup of water to a simmer on the stovetop and add a teaspoon of coconut sugar, a splash of vanilla extract, a pinch of cinnamon, and a cinnamon stick. Let that simmer and it's going to fill your home with the sweetest aroma. Add your pears and let them cook for about 5 minutes, keeping a close eye to make sure they don't overcook. Strain your pears and transfer to a plate, and you're ready to roll. Okay, these pears are so good. So when I was thinking about dessert wraps, I was like, apples, I've done it before. I know sauteed apples work really well, but this is actually the first time I'm trying pears and they're really easy to work with. So yeah, pears, an amazing source of prebiotic fiber. That is the fiber that feeds your gut bacteria. So we know probiotics are bacteria. That's in yogurt, in sauerkraut, in kimchi, and those are just introducing beneficial bacteria into your gut, but prebiotic fiber is actually feeding that beneficial bacteria and keeping it alive and thriving. Fold it in, tuck and roll, tuck and roll. We need to make our dipping sauce for these. This is the easiest dipping sauce. You need some A2 yogurt, or any yogurt will do. I can tolerate A2 better because it's A2 casein. Casein is just a milk protein. For a lot of people, it can cause an allergy or a sensitivity. A2 actually is much better tolerated than A1, and A1 is just like your conventional dairy product. So unless it says A2, you can pretty much assume that it's A1. I get this from Costco, super affordable. We are marrying our prebiotic fiber from our apples and our pears with our probiotic from our yogurt. So our gut is very, very happy. Add some maple syrup, and then we're gonna top it off with some cinnamon. Give it a stir. We must try. Bon appetit. Heavenly. Last, but certainly not least, we have my food happy spring rolls. Let's cut to the ingredients. We're gonna start with 3 bell peppers, cut off the top, twist and turn to remove the seeds and core, and we'll get them into the perfect slices using our vegetable cutter. I swear this thing is such a time saver and it's so fun and satisfying to use. Next, we'll peel our mango and slice it into matchsticks. I technically could have used the vegetable cutter here. And finally, we're gonna use the leftover carrots and avocado from our traditional spring roll. Did you catch the surprise in there? We're using mango. Haha! Let's get into it. I'm gonna start with my carrots. Excellent for the eyes, and that's because they contain beta carotene, the precursor to vitamin A. Retinol, your eyes literally need retinol to be able to see. So eat your carrots, kids. We're gonna add our mango. Mango contains mangoférin, which is a type of phytochemical that's actually really good for balancing blood sugar. And then we're finishing it off with this medley of bell peppers. The more color you see on your plate or in a spring roll, for example, the more plant nutrients it's going to have, the more benefits it's going to have for your gut bacteria, your gut microbiome, and your gut health is linked to, well, you already know, your overall health. I'm just going to say it. And we're going to call this wrap, yes, it is my signature food happy wrap, but I want to call it the rainbow roll. I mean, look at all of the colors on this plate. How could this not make you happy? You have green leafy vegetables, which are an excellent source of folate that you need for detoxification. You have your bell peppers here, which are one of the best sources of vitamin C on the planet. You have your carrots, mango, you have avocado, one of the best sources of vitamin E and magnesium. This is literally medicine. So beautiful. I am going to be making a sesame, ginger, lime dipping sauce. This is toasted sesame oil, the lime. We're going to add some ginger, salt. So I'm also going to add some heat from some pepper flakes. And we're going to add some scallions. Perfect. Moment of truth. Let's see how it tastes. There's lots of surprises. Crunch from the carrots. The mango provides the most beautiful hint of sweetness. The avocado brings like a creaminess to it. If you know someone that's not a huge fan of vegetables, try to get them to eat vegetables in this way. Just the presentation of it, the excitement of it, the color. It might just reframe their perception of vegetables and might convince them to have one or two, or maybe the whole plate, like I'm gonna do in just a second. Recipes in the caption. It's in the caption for all of these. Enjoy.